Hi, dear viewers. We get to another practical course on the topics related to Adobe Experience Design topics. Here we intend to deal with a rather thorough project, an over-inclusive project, and see how this project is, which items it contains, and how we are going to design and set up those items. First, I am going to play this project for you once so that you can see how it works or how you can work with the project very well. As you see, this project is called Fresh Food, an application for ordering food online. And this application avails a very good user interface, has excellent coloration, and we are going to deal with different pages of this project. Well, now I click on email and password and choose the sign in button. On the main page of this project we have different sections: the menu bar on the items, the cardio for the food and groceries. As you see, the food include more fruits and vegetables. Imagine here we are going to search for something. As you can see, it can do the search in a very interactive and exciting fashion. I click on this browse. Okay, it doesn't contain any items, but as you can see, we can take care of the left and right operations for each one. On this section we will be able to analyze some foods and see how they are. And this is a list of these items, and in fact here on this part there are 2 bananas, for instance, or 3 oranges, and from each one quite easily we can perform the operations like this. And imagine on our shopping list we are going to take care of the payment. Here, for instance, imagine we are going to have these items, and from here I will be able to enter my credit card's information, and finally when I hit continue I will be directed here and finally on this page. And on the shopping list I can have these items, and as you see we have these quite beautifully, and we have the same thing in the settings. We are able to perform the dark mode of the project. This project contains 2 user interfaces including dark and light. Here we have the live chat section, we have the new orders section. As you see here how beautifully the drop down section is shown and hidden. Here we have your account section. Here we have notification. Here we have newsletter and many more items that are available on this project. And here we have the sign out. When we want to sign out we are directed to this page, and the pages for this application, the UI for this application is very interesting, and we are going to show you how to design different parts. Not thoroughly, we only deal with a few important pages that need to be designed, and we deal with some of his transactions to see how each part is designed and the rest of the job. I reduce the size so that you can see how this user interface works. We are going to design a user interface with the same features, dark and light versions of it, and also other pages that we are going to analyze and design. So if you agree, we start the work. Well, the splash page is very simple to design. It is a page that has a size with its parameters in a vertical format with a scroll section, and there is a logo at the center. As we said, we aren't going to design all the pages on this project. Only the more challenging pages of the project are going to be dealt with. How we can design them. We have no special issue with the sign-in page. Maybe this part, as you noticed in the former projects. Here we have a shadow, and as a matter of fact, this shadow is a circle, so to speak, that has been designed like this, and the object player and other items with their certain values have been included in it. So up to here we have no difficulty. We have had the same items in the former project. This is the slider where the user clicks and is able to see the rest of the items. Let them play the project. Let me play the project again. If we have the associated pages, here as you see, sign in, create account, this page, and by clicking over here we can have access to those items. Very well. So maybe the exciting page over here is the slider page. We are going to see how we can design it. Okay, as you can see here, each of these pages, as you see, they have been taken care of, and if you pay attention by clicking on these items, we can see the tab for each one and see how they are made. For instance, if we were to work on a small section of the project, here I use this page, make a copy out of these like that. We set it up there, and now I am going to design the sections. Okay, if you pay attention, here we have a layer. This layer is exactly the item where the tags are set. I am going to draw it here so that here we don't want it to have border. We set the values like this. Here we have 4 features: top left, top right, and bottom right, bottom left. We are going to work with these two. I give 245 to this font, and of course we need the shadow. Here the shadow has been designed differently, but we aren't going to design something identical with the original. Okay, we set the Y position at 15 and the blur is set 60. Now if we want to have something totally identical to this one, quite simply I just need to remove this shadow from here, draw the item that I need, I set it at the center, I delete the border, set the shadow. I don't need the fill value, but yeah, I need it here. I set it at 20. Of course, fill needs to receive this item without a shadow. That is, I don't want to have a shadow. The opacity would be set at 20, and finally the object blur option that I choose here, and finally this item needs to be set on this item, and here like this, have that item. Okay, that's it. It is set over here, and let's see. Okay, we give it a vector, but with a light color. All right. Or we can use the shadow, but the shadow we want to give it is opacity needs to be changed like this, so that I would have it like that, and the blur is set on 20 max. Okay, and I can lighten the object that I have here like this, and finally I can set this over here on -7, so that I will be able to make things exciting. Okay, and finally the text that we have here, I use this plus this one, and simultaneously these three I make a copy, paste it here, and well, the image at the center is very simple. I am just going to have a theme. I make a copy and paste. This one is set exactly here, like that. Now imagine here, for instance, let me set this here, and now we are going to design this page. I make a copy out of this, again set it over here, and this icon, well, it's set like this, substituted with this, and some of the objects that we have over here, the object that we set here, for instance this character and this one, these two, just need to set them on top of each other. Now using this one, I paste it again, and I am going to change it like that, and now in fact set it over here, this one in the same fashion. Here I set it over here, quite simply. Now what I want to do here is I can, by clicking on this option, I am going to be redirected to the intended page. So I set the trigger on tab. And now if I want to again from here like that, and finally transaction. Okay, now I play. Let's see how it works. As you see, even can even do something else. We can change these to an animate here, or here. This one. Okay, again. Well, now we are going to analyze the return. We set the transaction on auto animate. So here again, I play this. As you see, quite simply, the operation is performed. Well, be with me. Well, in the follow-up, we deal with the rest of the pages. Here, as you see, there is a very simple page. We can design this page the way we want to, so that the items that have been set here as a switch can be designed in a very exciting fashion, and at the same time an entertaining one, and see how we can do these and perform these operations. Okay, the other pages that we want to analyze is this loading page that contains several items. But if we were to design this page, if we wanted to have this on this page, here we have the switches, and you can see how they are being designed, and all these tabs here connected to this artboard, and they aren't connected to anywhere. Here, what I have here, I make a copy from this, and I can save some of these items. We can design such an item. It is quite simple. We can design such an icon, but on the other hand, in order to save time, I am going to make a copy from this, delete most of the items that we have here, so that we can deal or have at our disposal what we want. I paste it here. Imagine we have a paste like this without animate. And as you see now here, imagine I want to design this here. Okay, quite simply, that is here on this page that I have. Imagine I am going to, by clicking on this option, I am going to have this item shown to me like this. That is here. This item is going to turn on. Now check this out. If I have the play here, as you see, quite simply, now I can return. If I click on this item, well, that's it. And this one is for when it is off. So, well, let me go back And from here I am going to go to this page, and when I want to show the off button, here we have auto animate. So finally, let's see. Okay, quite simply we can design these items. Okay, we deal with the rest of the pages and see if we have anything new or not. Okay, well, there is nothing special. We have already dealt with similar pages before, and here let me see if there is anything else. Okay, these pages were had in the previous ones, that is the top menu and the bottom menu. We could using two auto animate transaction design those pages. There is no section on this project, and let me see if we have other pages that we can work on where we are going to design pass or not. The thing that is left here is to check the artboard and see how we can actually find the pages that preferably have some excitement contained within them. I said this to you, one of the reasons why we don't want to design these items completely is because this might be the 5th project that we have been working on, and I prefer to let you do some practice on your own and do the operations and have something desired and exciting as an outcome through your personal practices. That's why I prefer not to do something which we have already done. Okay, so practically we are just going to deal with a few pages out of all of these that are available here, where we need to see how they are designed and how they work. Of course, in one of these pages, if we zoom in, I guess it was this page. Let me play this. If this is the page that I had in my mind, well, nothing special about this, just here. Okay, let's see. Imagine we are going to simulate this and see how they are made. Well, if you pay attention over here, in fact, what we have here, this type has been included using a component. That is, it is a component that is pointing out the present object. Okay, but how can we design this? Okay, I go to the design, I make a copy from this page, and let's see how this item is. The item that have been set here all are the items that we have here already, but we can design it on ourselves. If we design it, we can get what we want, but how has this been designed? Well, this item is what matters to us. If we go to the artboard, there are two items. One of them is pointing out this option. That is to here. If we click on this, but Why? When we click on these items that are under this option, they show themselves how we want them to be. Well, as you see, if you go to this section here, as you see, let me find it. Okay. Recycle bin, the trash icon that we have here are conspicuously prominent. The trash icon has been included in the asset as a component, but check out how it operates. When we click on the prototype, when we click on this item here, if you pay attention, an option is shown automatically. This item is a trigger, and in this trigger we can include and design all those items, but the item that has been set here is a component. The component is going to operate routinely. If you pay attention here, it has named this slide out menu as an animation, and if I click on this, we have something like that. On the slide menu, something like this, and if I click here on this topic, broccoli, as you see, imagine if you take into account the first item, it has several modes. In the default mode, it looks like this, but when we choose the slide out menu here, that item is going to be shown differently. And if you pay attention here, we have different items, and we can choose them in destination and direct them in the directory where we want them to be. Very well. So now the pages that we analyzed together, we saw how they are. And regarding this item, I need to tell you, well, because this is a pre-designed UI, and surely anyone using UI or uses UI in a special manner while using actions and triggers as we analyzed together in different videos, we aren't going to have a totally realist option. We are just designing something. These pages need to have their certain complexities in their designing, and we just need to deal with them. But ordinarily this might not be the case, and we just need to deal with them. Very well. Let's see what else we got here. Another point that I need to talk about and feel responsible in emphasizing is, I have a suggestion for you to try when you are designing UIs. Make the UI or the user interface in a way so that the users are able to fulfill many of your needs, but don't suffice to only one software. When you are designing the UI, you can use different softwares. Every software has its own shortcomings and weaknesses. We have seen many people who, although they spend so much time on a job, but they rather do away with others, try to use the After Effects software, which is very practicable because the software is very powerful. Even after you have designed your final project, beside that, you can have a mock-up of the demo, and when you want to present that to the customer, potential customer, you can present your design a totally different thing. And there are many people who do this and who take advantage of it. They present something simple and present the product through a few pictures. These pictures somehow are useless and unnecessary. They don't deliver the right idea to the user. But if you include a real demo in your work with exciting transitions and exciting and let's say intricate effects, surely you will be able to present your jobs much better and more impressive.